the recording. Yeah. When we are using group by without aggregation functions, it will give the distinct values. Okay. So it will give the distinct values. There is more one advantage with that group by without aggregation functions. So basically, if we observe these results, we go back. So if you observe these results, even though the order of this customer ID is different and it is not in a particular order, or whether it is a descending order or ascending order, these values are not present in any order. Okay. So, but if you see customer ID, customer ID, so the values are arranged in a such a way like ascending order. This is the main advantage of group by without aggregation function is, so it will give the distinct values. The two, it will order the values in ascending order. That is the major advantage. That is one thing. One more thing, guys. Okay. I will tell you in the when we are dealing with null values. One more point I want to give. For suppose you can able to see all the values without any null values. Okay. So for suppose if we have any null value uh, in place of 1 and 2, if we have null value, okay, so these null values are going to be treated as one set, and those values are going to be combined. And if you are performing any aggregation key, so aggregation function, so basing on the aggregation function, those values going to be aggregated and it will give the results. If not, we are using we are not using any aggregation function, some random value will be generated as part of this results. But if you are not using any not if you are not using any aggregation key, either 400 will be written or 250 will be written, but not both. Any doubt, guys? Here, please let me know if you have any doubts, else we can start with our next topics. Okay, I'm taking it as a no. So moving to next topic, having. This having class mainly is used to filter the data. In previous classes we have mentioned where is also used to filter the data, but having class is also used for filtering the data on top of the filtered data. Okay, let me show you, not this. So if you see the order of execution, okay, when you are running any query, the order of execution will be from first from will be executed from our joins. If you have any joins, joins will be executed, and from will be executed, then joins will be executed. Sorry. Then where clause will be executed, then group by, then having, then select, order by, and limit or offset. So these are the list of operations. We see, we'll paste that in one place. This is the order of execution. First from our joins will be executed, and then it will give some results. On top of these results, where class going to be executed, and it will filter the data. So then group by will be executed, and it will group the data, and it will give some aggregated values. Then on top of this, it will having clause, what it will do is it will filter the aggregated data. Okay. Then select, what it will do is it will select the this aggregated data. Then the selected data will be ordered basing on ascending order or descending order. Then limit, what it will do is limit or offset, what it will do is it will limit the I mean for example, if we pass limit, that many number of rows will be returned. For example, if we pass 10 rows from this selected data, it will give only 10 rows, top 10 rows. uh, if you pass offset, so if you pass limit 10 and offset 10, so offset 10, what it will do is it will skip first 10 values and it will give next 10 values. We'll discuss later in this class what is offset and what is limit. So this is the order of execution. Please try to remember this, guys, because you might ask this type of questions in interviews. This is a important one, and this is a basic one. You need to understand what is the process of execution in these statements, and it might comes in interviews as well. I think somebody asked me that he has an interview somewhere regarding the sequel. Please try to remember this, the order of execution. And next, coming to where class, we'll discuss practically. So I'm going to use the retails table only. First, what I will do is select start from retails table. Oh, okay. So this is a retails table. In details table, we have month, year, total orders, gross sales, discounts, returns, not net sales, shipping, total sales are there. So I want to see um, only January's data. from 2017. So for this, what I will do is select star from the retails where year equal to group by month having mm, 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 mm. we'll see we'll see all the values from 2017 which are having total orders greater than 70. Total orders. So this query, what it will do is it will filter first. What it will do is it will filter the data. It will filter the data basing on this condition. If the condition satisfies, then only it will returns data. So here it will return only 2017 data. Okay. And once the data is filtered and the data will be grouped basing on the month column. Then what I'm doing is I'm putting another level of filter, that is total orders having greater than I'm putting one more filter that is called total orders. So that is if the value is greater than 70, then only it will return the records. I think yeah, we do have some values less than 70 as well. So I'm going to run this query. It will return only 3 records. Why? Because the first level filter is 2017. It satisfies the condition. These 3 records satisfies the condition. And second, what it will do is we grouped the data basing on month column. It grouped, okay. And then on top of this filter data, we placed one more filter, that is total orders greater than 70. So if you observe these values are greater than 70. That is the reason you got these three values as part of the results. Understood, guys? Any doubt here? Guys, understood? Any doubt here?
Yeah, yes, sir. No. No, sir.
Okay, thank you. So next, yeah, okay. Next, we'll see another approach. Select star from retails where
Not we can use directly where clause, sorry, having clause without where or group by. Having, after having, you need to pass the column name, total orders. Mm, so you could pass like this. The data is not grouped. Okay, here, if you observe, the data is not grouped. We are not passing any group by condition. The data will not, data is not going to be grouped, and it will return all the values which satisfies this condition. Having total orders is greater than 70. No, let me put that as 90. So see here, the total orders. Um, if this condition satisfies and if the value is greater than 90, so it is giving uh, those records only. And we didn't pass any filter except this filter having clause by using having clause. If we want to restrict, if we want to apply one more level of filters, we need to use group by here. So, we need to use where
Excuse me,
clause.
sir.
Yeah, please.
Instead of having, we can use where also, right?
Yes, yes, we can use where also. I mean,
Okay.
this is the scenario, right? We are discussing having clause, right? So
Having.
just
Okay.
that is the reason I'm using having clause. If you
Okay, sir.
want to
Thank you.
use where clause, you can use where clause. Yeah,
Okay.
but the result is same. Let me put.
Saram, is there a scenario having with
Mhm.
aggregate function?
Sorry. Can you please come again?
Uh, Having with aggregate function?
Um, Basically, if you want to filter any kind of data on top of the filter data. So here what I'm doing is I have already filtered the data where year equal to 2017, right? You got it right?
Yes, Saram.
So if you run this query, what it will do? It will return all the records where year equal to 2017. Correct?
Yes, Saram.
So then what I'm doing is I'm performing group by operation. Okay. Then
Okay.
what is going to happen? It will group the data basing on the month
On
column. For example, if you have two records for January, so those two records are going to be joined. So, those records are going to be aggregated and it will give only one record as part of the January. Okay. For suppose if we, for the April month of April, if we have four records, these four records are going to be aggregated and it will give the result as only one record for April 1, for January 1. Like this way, it will group the data. Okay. So we have already applied one filter and we performed group by operation. Then again, if we want to filter the aggregated value, for example, for January, we have for January we have 20. Again, one more January 20, Feb 50, mm, April 30. You got it? So if you want to filter only the data greater than 30. And one more filter, March as 20. Okay, so if you perform group by, first let us assume that the data is related to 2017 year 2017. So it got filtered. This is a filtered data. Okay, so on top of this filter data, you have performed group by operation basing on the month column. Got it? So then what will happen? Mm, this will be these two records. These two January records will be aggregated and it will give like this. Got it? Jeff, the aggregated value become January for January it will be 40. These three values remain same. Why? Because they are not repeating any. They are not repeating not more than one time. Okay. So then our next condition, we want to see only records. We want to see only records which are having greater than 30. Mm, sales. Let us assume as sales. We want to see only that greater than 30 values. So if you perform 30, we can't after group by we can't use where class, right? We can't use where class. Okay, the order should be we should follow this order. We should not we should not change this order. We have already used the where class and the group by. Then again, if you want to filter the data, we need to use having, not where. Okay, you need to remember this order as well. Next, we can't use where class. And if you want to filter these aggregated value, if you want to filter these aggregated value, why? Because group by happened and these are the aggregated values, right? 40 to 50, 30, 20. Even though it is 50 and 30 and 20 are repeated only one time, for January the aggregation happened. For January there will be two values. I mean there are two values, 20 and 20. So those two values are aggregated and we got the aggregated value as 40. So we can then what we need to do is we need to use having clause and we need to filter the data. So if a pass having sales is greater than 30, so this data aggregated data will be going to be filtered and we will get the filtered records. And that is a use case you need to use having clause. And if you don't want that, you can directly put having clause or where condition. You can use either of them. Hope I have answered your question.
Yes, sir.
That is one thing. Okay, that is about having class. We'll see order by. Okay, before going to that, mm, so if you observe these values, are these values are in order? No, right? These values 91, 116, 124, 102, 140, 165. These values are not in not placed in any order, right? If you want to see these values in a order, So what we need to do is simply we have already filtered the data, and the filter data you want to see in order. So what column you want to see the order, basing on what column you want to order the data. In this case, I want to order the data basing on this total orders column. I want to uh, see the orders, total orders, which are having less value in the top and highest value in the bottom. For that, what we need to do is we need to pass like this. If you see the syntax, select star from retails where I'm using where class. I want to filter the data which are having greater than 90. I want to return only those records. And what I'm doing is I want then once the filter operation is performed, that is where class is performed, I need to order the data. Then the syntax is we need to pass the order by key. Okay, order by keyword. Then we need to pass the column name and basing on what column we want to order the data. In my case, I want to order the data basing on the total orders column. So I pass the total orders name. If you run this, the data is getting ordered. Remember guys, by default it is ascending order. If you are not passing anything, any order, so by default it will consider it as ascending order. It will order the data in ascending order. Even though you are specifying ascending order or descending order, sorry, ascending order or not, if you pass ascending order, it will take that as ascending order. If you are not passing in ascending order, even though it will take as ascending order only. By default, it is ascending order. So the short form of ascending order is ASC. We don't need to hard code the total word. Just we need to place ASC. ASC is the short form of ascending order. So see here, I have placed ASC and the data is ordered in ascending order. Okay, that is one thing. And we'll see descending order, how the descending order works. Let me put select star from retails. I don't want to pass any condition. I just want to order the data. Order by gross sales. If I run this condition, sorry, I want to order the data in descending order. So if we run this condition, basing on the gross sales values, the data will be ordered in descending order. So if you observe, the highest value placed in top, that is in first position. The next consecutive values are placed in order, in descending order. This is how we can use order by. And I want to include that order by condition with group by as well. So first order is select. We have already placed select from where group by and having Next we can place order by. So here I have placed order by. Order by column. We'll take total orders itself as order by column. So if you run this query, first what will happen is it will filter the data basing on this condition. It will give the 2017's data. Now we'll replace it as 2019. Now it will give only 2019's data, and it will group the data basing on month. And again, what happen is the data will be filtered if this condition satisfies. It will returns the records where the total orders is greater than 70. It will give like that. Then what will happen is we want the whatever the records written as part of this query, so will be ordered basing on this column, total orders column. We can put descending order as well. Okay, then the data will be ordered in descending order. So if I run this query, so see here the top value. See here from the top value from 2019 is December. We got total orders 342, that is greater than 70, and the data is ordered in descending order. We can see only 2019 data here, not any others data. This is how we can use order by. And next, what is that? Order by is done, and we'll see limit, not limit. Distinct we'll see. Any doubts here till here? Order by, group by, are having
sir.
clause.
No, sir.
Okay. So the next topic is distinct. We'll go back to the PPT and we'll see. So, sorry guys. So the distinct, what it will do is it will distinct means unique. So if you perform distinct operation on top of any column, it will retrieve the unique record from that particular column. So see here, if you observe the syntax, select distinct keyword we need to pass, and for the distinct, so we need to pass some column, the column 1, and from the table we need to specify. Here what will be happen, right? The data will be selected from this table, and basing on this column, the column, for example, if we consider it as a salary, if we consider the salary column, so it will return only distinct values, that is unique records, which means without any duplicate values. It will give, for suppose 20 is repeated 2 times, okay, and 30 is repeated 3 times, 40 is repeated 4 times. It will return 20, one value 20, second value is 30, third value is 40. Like that it will return. We'll see. We'll see some example. What column we can consider? Okay, we'll see this. So, if you observe in the year, how many years will be there? How many years are there? Total, three different years are there, right? There is 2017 and 2018 and 2019. So, if I want to see only distinct years, okay, how can we do that? Distinct years means I want to see only data. I want to see that is I want to see the data when I'm understanding the data. I want to see how many years of how many years data that data is. So if I want to see this, I'm passing select and distinct keyword. Sorry guys. So if you observe here, I'm passing select and distinct keyword. For the distinct, I want to pass some column. Why? Because I need to pass year column. Why? Because I want to see only. I want to understand the data. How many years of data it is. So in such case, I need to pass distinct. For the distinct, I need to pass the year column. Then from retails table, I need to specify the table name. If we pass this, it will return three records. It is sorry. It will return three records, three distinct records. Okay, that is 2017, 2018, 2019. For suppose, if I want to see only months, so if you pass this, I think it will return 12 records. So see here, if you observe this value, January, Feb, March, April, and there will be no duplicates, even though each value is repeated three times, but we are getting only 12 records as part of month. As part of year, we are getting only three records. Why? Because three different years are there.
Sairam, column name should be mentioned in bracket.
Yes, yes. I think this will work. This is also will work, but I will suggest in some cases, in some databases, without braces it won't work. So, but I will suggest to practice the braces only. Why? Because if you practice like this, you won't face any kind of issue in any another database. In some databases, if you miss two braces, it won't work. That is the reason I'm suggesting you to go ahead with the braces. Okay, this is how we need to get. So let me explain you one more thing, guys. Like you have given a scenario. Okay. For example, in the retails table itself, somebody asking you to get the count of distinct months. So he is asking to count the distinct months. Okay, distinct months. Distinct months means without any duplicate values. He wants to you count you the months. Okay, basically, if you perform distinct, what it will do? It will return it will return the distinct values, right? Without any duplicates, right? So totally it will give 12 records. That is from January to December it will give. So he is asking you to count those values. That how can we do that is simply what we need to do is select, we need to first distinct month from retails. So if you run this query, it will give distinct months, right? So if I want to perform count operation on top of this, simply we can pass count. So what it will do is first, if you run this query, so we got the 12 months, right? How the query execution will be happened is first it will get the distinct months. So it will give from January to December. On top of this result, we are performing count operation. So the data will be counted and it will return 12. Why? Because there will be 12 records. And I don't want, if you run this query directly, right? So you will see this type of name as a column name. But I don't want that. I want to rename that column. Count distinct months. So if you run this query, so I renamed count distinct months. This is how we can get the distinct values and we can get the count. Okay, that is one thing. So one more scenario, like if you want to get only distinct record counts. So how can we get that? So distinct, I'm passing the keyword distinct. So here you need to pass distinct star, distinct star from details table. So if you run this type of query, what it will do is it will return only distinct values as part of this execution. Distinct records or distinct rows, it will filter the data. I mean, it will give only distinct records and it will view that records. This is how you can get the distinct records. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt here in distinct?
No, sir.
Guys, if you have any doubt, feel free to ask me. So until unless
You are not going to ask me, so I don't know what doubts you have, and those doubts are not going to be clarified. If you open up, I can able to, I will try to clarify those doubts, and then you can learn more concepts. So when coming back to next topic, the next is limit and limit and offset. Limit and offset. So here, if you run this query, what will happen? So it will return the distinct values, right? Sorry. So it will return the distinct values. For understanding, do we need to see total data? For understanding data, so do we need to see total data? For suppose in this case, mm, there will be 36 records. What if there will be 1 CR, 2 CR, 1 billion records? So if you want to understand 1 billion records, do we need total data? Do we need, really, do we need to see total data? No, right?
No,
So if we
it will
see,
lead to
mm,
loading issues.
yes, exactly. And if you observe in some particular cloud services, in cloud like AWS or Google Cloud or Azure, so the some data warehouses or databases will be there. So that will cost, like those cloud services will cost you based on the query execution. So if you run total, if you want to load the total data, it will take time, and basing on that time, for example, if you are scanning 1 GB data and you are displaying 1 GB size data, so you will be charged, the company will be charged for 1 GB data. And how many, for example, it might be $0.5 in, I'm just example I'm saying, for 1 hour they will cost, for 1 hour for 1 GB they will charge zero point zero 0.05 like that, uh, $0.05 dollars like that. So if you load 10 GB, the cost will be increasing, right? For just understanding, we should not do that. And we can limit we can limit the rows. If you understand the data, even 10 records or 5 records will be fine to understand what are the columns are there, what are the data types, and what type of data it has. Simply we can limit the data. So if you want to limit the data, yeah, if you are limiting the data, it will give that many number of records. For example, here I have performed distinct star operation on top of the returns table. Okay, so as part of this query execution, I'm getting 36 records, but I don't want to see the 36 records. I want to see only 5 records, top 5 records. What should I do? So in that case, what I need to do is I need to pass limit 5. Limit, I need to use the limit function and the in the last followed by number of records you want to see. I want to see only 5 records, so so I'm passing 5. So if I run this query, it will give only top 5 records. Else, if you pass, if you pass 10, you are going to see only 10 records. If you pass 15, you will see top 15 values. This is how you need to use limit operation. Okay, there is a use case. Next, coming to offset.
Okay. So in offset, what we need to do is, so the offset, I think in PPT, do we have that? No, offset is not there. So offset, what it will do is, the main use case of this offset is, so let me show you that, guys. First, okay. So what I want to do is, if you perform limit operation on top of some table, what it will do? It will return the top 5 records. It will return the top 5 records, okay, as part of this query. So I don't want to see top 5 records. I want to see 5 to 10 records. That is, I want to skip top 5 records and I want to see next 5 records. So in such cases, how we can do that is offset. So after limit 5, we need to pass offset 5. We need to pass like this, offset 5. So if you run this query, you are going to get next 5 records. That is, previously we have saw like from Jan to May, right? Now if you see June, July, August, September, October, you can see. I want to skip.
Sairam sir. Sir,
Yeah, please.
so if I want the last top 5 records, then
Mm, mm, mm. So in that case, what we can do is, mm, mm, okay, I think there will be two functions, top or last. I think it is not there. Don't worry.
the
For that,
function will be changed, no, sir.
no. Well, wait a second. So in that case, if you want to see only last 5 records, how we can do that is, so simply you can order the data, order by some ID. If you have any ID, for example, primary care like that, so you can order by, you can perform order by. I want to order the data, order by total, sorry, order by year, listening limit 5. So if you observe, if you run this, it will order the data in descending order. It will give the top last 5 records. But this is again, it is not going to be performed the actual way that you are I mean that you are asking for. But actually what happens is it will order the data and it will give this how. But if you want to do that, so what we'll do, we can do is, you can perform order by, that is one thing. And one more way is you can create the index. The index operations, how can we create index, and that I will show in next class. I mean, whenever the situation comes, I will show you that index, how the index works. That is one. This is one way. So for suppose if we have any order column, so we can order the data in descending order, and we can get the not here. We can pass if you have any ID column, we can order the data in descending order. We can get the limit. This is one way, and one more way is you need to create index value for this table. For this table, we don't have any index value, right? So you can create an index value, and you can then once you have created the index value, you can order the data in descending order, and you can get the top five records. That is how that is one way you can get the uh, last five records. There are few other ways, but due to time limits, I, I mean, I want to explain that in the next classes, in future classes, not next class, in future classes. I will explain that in future class. Okay. Please,
Okay, sir.
please ask me after by this weekend or by this weekend or in the starting of the next week. Okay. By that time we will cover all the topics and we'll be ready, and I will let you know in that case. Now I don't want to see that show that how index works. There is one thing, guys, and I will leave it the changes. In SQL Workbench, top and last will not support. And in other databases like Postgres or PL SQL, so we'll use we have some options like top and bottom. Sorry, top and last. So basing on that top and last, the top will return the top records, and we need to specify the number here. It will return the top records. Else it will return. I mean, if you pass the last operation, it will return the last five records. There,
Brother, row number or row ID works in this one.
row number.
Our row ID can we use for this for getting the last records or something like that?
Yeah, we can. I mean, that is what I'm informing. Like basing on the row number, we need to create some index value. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
row number is nothing but index value, right?
Yes, yes.
So we need to create that row number or index value. Then we need to order the data by in such a way descending order, and we need to limit the records. That is how we can get. What I'm telling is in other databases like SQL Server, this is MySQL. Okay, so
Yes.
in SQL Server there are two options like top and last. Top. So top, what it will do is it will return top records. Okay, top five. For example, if you pass five, top five, top five star,
Yes.
it will return top five records. Okay,
Yes, brother.
and there will be one more option called last in SQL Server. So
Okay.
if you pass like this, it will return last five records with all
Okay.
the columns.
Is there any way we can get the middle records?
Middle records means that is basing on the index number only we can get.
There we
With
need to give some conditions.
yes, exactly. So we need to pass some. First, what we need to do is we need to pass some index value, and uh, we need to use some aggregations like average. Okay,
Okay.
then we can get the some minimum value, a medium value, right? Mean value,
Yes.
not medium.
I mean,
Mean,
without using any row ID or index, we cannot get middle records, right?
no, we can't. If we can get if it has any primary key, like
Mm.
one from ranging from 1 to n. So in such
Means
a way,
if we have a primary key for a field, default by default we have index, right? When
so We don't know, right, whether the primary key is going to start from, I mean, if we have primary key, that's
Mm.
fine. We can use that primary key and we can get the values. But we are not sure whether the primary key is going to repeat the same or not.
Mhm.
We are not sure, right? In some cases, the primary key, what it will do, it will allow you unique values, right?
Yes,
And
it
it
won't
will,
allow us to give unique, I mean, repeated values as well as
yeah,
duplicate and this one.
and also it will not allow
Null
any
values.
null
Yes,
values.
duplicates or null
But
values. It doesn't allow.
yeah, but what if, like, if I intentionally skip the value, like for example, I'm passing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay,
Mm.
and 7, 8, 9. If I'm going to skip,
Mm.
for example, if I'm going to skip seventh value, what it will do? I'm not passing any null value either. I'm not passing any duplicate value, but I'm going to skip the value 7.
Okay.
That, but that will be that is satisfying the condition, right?
Okay. And that is violating this one, right? Primary key if we delete any middle value.
That is not violating. It is satisfying the condition, right? What we need to do is there is no condition to say the values should be in consecutive way without any skipping values, right? There is no
Yes, yes,
condition like that. The
yes,
main condition what it is, the whatever the values we are entering, that should be unique, and there will be no duplicates. If we pass this condition, then the values is going to be entered, right? So if I
yes.
intentionally skip those values,
Mm.
it my the average and whatever, if I want to get the unique sorry, middle values, we can't achieve really with that unique function. In that case also, I suggest, like, we need to create row ID,
Mm.
and we need to use that.
Brother, by default for each row we have a row ID, right?
But it
That
will not be pop.
that is also unique. Like row ID is unique, right?
Row ID is unique. I can say it is row ID is unique.
Mm.
And I don't want to explain here why, because that is a part of last function.
Mm.
I mean last module of
Okay, brother.
this
Okay,
sequence.
okay, okay. Fine, brother.
I want show. I will show you.
Mm.
There will
Okay.
be some records. There will be a concept called Windows functions. So in that Windows functions, it will be there. So see here, row number. There is a function called row number. So we can use this row number and we can get that.
Mm.
But I will explain in the later classes, in the future classes.
Okay,
This
brother.
is um, so I'm limiting 5 records. I limit 5. I want to skip top 5 records. Limit offset 5. What it will do is it will skip the first top 5 values and it will give the 5 to 10 values. This is how you can restrict the values. That's it for today, guys.